The Magic Mirror. One day, in the middle of winter, when the snowflakes fell from the sky like feathers, a queen sat at a window netting. Her netting needle was of black ebony, and as she worked and the snow glittered, she pricked her finger and 3 drops of blood fell into the snow. The red spots looked so beautiful in the white snow that the queen thought to herself, "Oh, if only I had a little child, I should like it to be as fair as the snow, as rosy as the red blood, and with hair and eyes as black as ebony." Very soon after this, the queen had a little daughter who was very fair, had rosy cheeks and hair as black as ebony, and they gave her the name of Snow White. But at the birth of the little child, the queen died. When Snow White was a year old, the king took another wife. She was very handsome, but so proud and vain that she could not endure that anyone should surpass her in beauty. She possessed a wonderful mirror, and when she stood before it to look at herself, she would say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, am I most beautiful of all?" Then the mirror would reply, "Young queen, thou art so wondrous fair, none can with thee at all compare." Then she would go away quite contented, for she knew the magic mirror could only speak the truth. Years went by, and as Snow White grew up, she became day after day more beautiful, till she reached the age of 7 years, and then people began to talk about her and say that she would be even more lovely than the queen herself. So the proud woman went to the magic looking glass and asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, am I most beautiful of all?" But the mirror answered, "Queen, thou art lovely still to see, but Snow White will be 1,000 times more beautiful than thee." Then the queen was terrified and turned green and yellow with jealousy. If she had caught sight of Snow White at that moment, she would have been ready to tear her heart out of her body. She hated the maiden so fiercely. And this jealousy and envy grew every day stronger and stronger in her heart, like a disease, till she had no rest day or night. At last, she sent for a hunter. He lived near the forest, and she said to him, "Hunter, I want to get rid of that child. Take her out into the wood, and if you bring me some proof that she is dead, I will reward you handsomely. Never let her appear before my eyes again." So the hunter enticed the child into the wood, but when he took out his hunting knife to thrust into Snow White's innocent heart, she fell on her knees and wept and said, "Ah, dear hunter, leave me my life. I will run away into the wild wood and never, never come home any more." She looked so innocent and beautiful as she knelt that the hunter's heart was moved with compassion. "Run away then, thou poor child," he cried. "I cannot harm thee." Snow White thanked him so sweetly and was out of sight in a few moments. "She will be devoured by wild beasts," he said to himself. But the thought that he had not killed her was as if a stone weight had been lifted from his heart. To satisfy the queen, he took part of the inside of a young fawn, which the wicked woman thought was poor little Snow White, and she was overjoyed to think Snow White was dead. But the poor little motherless child, when she found herself alone in the wood and saw nothing but trees and leaves, was dreadfully frightened and knew not what to do. At last she began to run over the sharp stones and through the thorns, and though the wild beasts sprang out before her, they did not harm her. She ran on as long as she could, till her little feet became quite sore. And towards evening she saw, to her great joy, a pretty little house. So she went up to it and found the door open and no one at home. It was a tiny little house, but everything in it was so clean and neat and elegant that it is beyond description. In the middle of the room stood a small table covered with a snow-white tablecloth ready for supper. On it were arranged 7 little plates, 7 little spoons, 7 little knives and forks, and 7 mugs. By the wall stood 7 little beds, near each other, covered with white quilts. Poor Snow White, who was hungry and thirsty, ate a few vegetables and a little bread from each plate, and drank a little drop of wine from each cup, for she did not like to take all she wanted from one alone. After this, feeling very tired, she thought she would lie down and rest on one of the beds. But she found it difficult to choose one to suit her. One was too long, another too short, so she tried them all till she came to the 7th, and that was so comfortable that she lay down and fell fast asleep.